Hi guys, I have a user on the forum with an issue, and I've just made a video about, well, Excel and OpenBox. So I have a machine ready to explain you something about any of our ISOs. Setup is ArcoLinux D, and ArcoLinux D, I must say this again, is for the very advanced Linux user. It is a Sherlock Holmes thing. It's actually you figuring things out, not asking things, but you know Linux, you know ArcoLinux, you know ArcoLinux, and you can figure it out on your own. That's the ArcoLinux D variant, right? It's the point we created it 6 years ago was that you have a black screen like an Arch, and then you do your thing. Okay, now problem is, so the problem described is SDDM. I log in and it throws me back to SDDM. I've made videos about this as in the past. It's not the problem of SDDM. SDDM is working just fine. It's what's behind SDDM. It can be i3, it can be BSPWM, it can be Xmonad, it can be Plasma. And Plasma is now, right, major release. And it breaks. Things break because of so many changes. I would not count how many thousands of changes that have been implemented from Plasma 5 to Plasma 6, right? So we hear, or a black screen happens too, or an SDDM that's working, and then you try to log in, but you forgot a comma, a semicolon, a space somewhere, and whatever is behind SDDM is not working. How to overcome that? That's the video I'm making now for you and the user on the forum, of course, everybody. At this point in time, we're on this ISO from the past, and we've made it rolling. That's previous video. And we investigated OpenBox. What if I can't go into XFCE? Basically, what I like to do is move. In the case of the user, I would do this away, delete it, and I would do doc local also, remove it, and then log in and see what Plasma does, right? Then SDDM wants to run Plasma, gonna execute things, it's gonna say, oh, there is no .config, and it's gonna create its own default config at this point in time, today, mid-March 2024. It's gonna grab the version 6.0.2 or something, right? And it's gonna create its own nice files, and hopefully that will work. So either you have something graphical and you can do this, delete basically, and if you're saying, nah, I'm not gonna delete, then you recall, I give it another name and say, okay, backup, right? And the same goes for this one. I would back up this too. Well, move it. But the problem is, let's see if it is a problem. No, it's not a problem. There is one thing it can't really, it doesn't like that you change, that's the trash. Right? So if you want to remove it, then it will complain because you can't remove the trash. So if I do this, what happens to my XFCE? What happens to my Plasma? Same thing, right? Have a look. What happens if the .config and the local are not there? Default configuration. Now in a desktop you get something. In a tiling window manager, right? You need the .config. So that's why we have skel. We say, let's copy paste the code over with skel. And that code is working. And what do you know, right? We are on Arch. This is the default Arch look. Beautiful. So I could give you an ISO like this and do no theming, no keyboard shortcuts, nothing. And then I will be delivering you a beautiful XFCE, the default. Okay, so that's something to think about. Whatever is behind SDDM is not working, so move away the .config, move away the .local, and then maybe there are applications that you've installed, so remove applications. Now maybe you can't, so none of my key bindings are working, right? Maybe you can't get to the graphical environment. Then you need to type it. You need to go to Control F2 in this case, Control F3, right? To go to TTY in real metal, Control Alt F1, F2, F3, F4. Go over it till you enter your terminal, your TTY, and we can do it here as well. Let's do a clear, and then we say let's move the folder config to the config we have created backup already, so 1, right? Basically I'm saying there is no more config. Same thing with the other one. Let's see, he complains local and local 1. All right, super, no complaints. So this is what you do in a TTY. Say, let's keep it around, and so there's a backup. It's still there. But for the desktop, whatever desktop it is, the 30 desktop that we have, there's nothing there anymore. The savior, if you're on a tiling window manager, is Skel. Skel will copy paste the correct code from etc Skel to the system, and all the settings are back in here. It's filled with all kinds of settings for Plasma, for anything, right? I'm gonna restart. Log out, log in is probably not good enough for XFCE. It needs to reapply all the settings. And hopefully you're saved. So basically this is a video how to fix things, right? How to fix things. SDDM, trust me, is not failing. It's the thing behind it that's failing. So you have to think, what did I change? What did I do? Was there an update? RIP. What did I change in the department of applications? RIP. Have a look. Is anything relevant in there? You just go from the bottom to the top and read, is anything causing my issue? All right, enjoy your computers. Cheers.